Last week was Bullhorn Engage London, and no surprising, they announced loads of changes coming to the Bullhorn platform, the majority to do with AI and automation. If you weren't able to make the event, then this video will probably tell you the majority of stuff that you need to know about in regard to the product updates and launches. And if you were there, then this might jog your memory of some of the stuff that happened so you can take action within your business. Stay tuned for lots of tips and tricks throughout this video to help you navigate change and transformation and get ready for the new world of AI and automation. Bullhorn Copilot has now changed to AI Assist Everywhere. That means that AI is coming right into the Bullhorn platform across both Salesforce and Bullhorn Native. It's going to be a big old change, but it's going to be really, really exciting. So we can expect to see advanced candidate screening, job descriptions being automatically generated by AI. We can use automation and AI to grade jobs, and that's just to name a few of the different features. It's going to be really starting to underpin the work that your recruiters do on a daily basis. Some of this will be coming to the platform in Q4 this year, whilst some of the wider parts of the AI won't be coming until 2025. But watch this space, because I'll let you know when they're on the way. So some really exciting changes. It does mean that the role of the recruitment consultant is going to change. The way they search will be different. The way they manage their day-to-day activity might be different. So it's going to be really crucial that as a business and as an industry, we're ready to embrace that change. And very shortly, I'll be showing you 8 steps that they actually went through at Bullhorn Engage to help cover that and manage the change and transformation within your business. So as I mentioned, the business and the way that our recruiters work is going to change. And you're probably thinking, well, hang on, if they're doing screening, job descriptions, searching, what are the consultants going to actually be doing? And for me, the answer is very simple. It's the human connection. Recruitment is still a human-to-human business, and that is so, so important. I never really quite believe that AI or automation can properly screen candidates or even get valuable feedback or provide offers. That needs to be human to human. So that's where I see the human element coming into this, and that is where your recruiters are going to be spending the majority of their time going forwards, which is being very consultative to the candidates and clients in your network and really building up those relationships with them to win new business and obviously make more placements as well. So that's AI Assist Everywhere. Watch this space when it comes out. So the other thing I wanted to touch upon is Bullhorn Automation. For those of you who know me will know that I spend a lot of my time within the platform, and I'm absolutely thrilled that there are some really good changes coming to that. So firstly, one of them is going to be around onboarding, and we're going to have some functionality so we can be automatically sending files out file requests out to relevant candidates based upon their needs and their requirements that are outlined elsewhere in Bullhorn via the tags, for example. So that's a good one. Also, it can be used to write job descriptions and do candidate summaries, which is really interesting. So the demo that they were showing us is a job got added, and then an AI description was built that was probably far better than the ones that was written, that the client had written and was already all over the internet, so everybody knows exactly what job that is, or a very basic one that often to be honest, most jobs I see don't actually have a job description because the recruiters don't add it in for one reason or another. So really pleased to see that is some more functionality within that. There's also quite a lot they were saying within merge tags, which is how we can add personalization to the emails that go out or the subject lines within automation. So again, hopefully there'll be some much more broader things that we can all do to get some really good, highly quality and highly personalized emails out to our networks through automation. There was another couple of exciting automation things. This I found to be really interesting. So I can already do this with a couple of clients based upon the way they've set up their system. But what they've said is they're going to be releasing the functionality to delve deeper into Bullhorn. So we can start doing automations to candidates who haven't had their CV updated for over a year. Or we can be updating statuses and various other things based upon the wider company and contact records. So if we know a job or a hiring manager has recruiting activity, that will really then start to populate the company as well. So there should be a lot more, I suppose, the different Bullhorn entities and the different records coming together to give a much more holistic view to automation, which I think is going to be brilliant as well. And then therefore we can add a lot more notification, prompts and automatic updates, which is going to be good as well. So once we get that enrolled, there'll be so many automations we can roll out to candidates who, as I said, is the example, haven't had their CV updated for a year. So that's going to be a good one. And I actually already have that in place with the client, as I said, and we make sure that every year we ask those candidates for their updated CV, and it does make such a difference when you're searching for jobs because CVs are getting passed through regularly. We've got relevant and updated information on their profile, and it's a great opportunity to remind candidates that you're there and that you're ready to help them throughout their job search. And the final thing I wanted to touch upon, I'm not 100% sure about this one, but I wanted to tell you about it anyway, is some sort of rating system. So by the sounds of it, clients can give candidates ratings, which will then be stored into Bullhorn, which will mean that, again, as a recruiter, you can see who's performing highly, or if there's anyone who's a 1-star because they didn't turn up for an interview, for example. I have mixed feelings on this because I can see this being something that just doesn't really get used. However, I think it is incredibly valuable. If you're doing very, very high volume temp, then this could be a game changer because you know those candidates are going to be reliable and you know that you've got some really good sort of insights into them a bit further. But for standard perm recruitment, I'm not 100% sure, but you never know. Hopefully it will prove me wrong. I just wanted to briefly touch upon marketing because one of the most standout sessions for me was with the 3 recruitment leaders, and they were talking about marketing and where that fits into this. And what I really took from it was that automation and the AI elements of what we're doing and what I was just talking about needs to be really, really top of the funnel. This is what the marketing teams are doing. The sales teams are aware that this is happening, and the marketing are really diving in so they can contact and support thousands of candidates and contacts on a regular basis, doing the work that isn't necessarily going to drive a massive amount of leads or a massive amount of conversion because it's very, very top of the funnel. But as that continues, then the sales team can get involved once those candidates and those contacts become more and more engaged. There were 3 key things that the panel and James Osborne, who was conducting the panel, said as well that you need to get right when you're looking into the marketing. And they were, what are you selling? How are you selling it? And when are you selling it? And those things are really, really important. So for me, take a look at those 3 things. Consider your automation and your marketing strategy to make sure that you've kind of got all of those outlined so you can be sure to really add the right content to the right people at the right time. And alongside of all of this, my other key takeaway from it was marketing is often here and sales is over here. That needs to come together. If you've got marketing teams sending out automations and driving engagement and your sales team don't know about it, or they're not sure what to do with that, it's not going to have the effect and the conversion that you need. We need to bridge the gap between marketing and sales, and that needs to happen now. A lot of the AI stuff that is coming in, which is so exciting, and the more and more automations that we have the power to do within the system, these 2 groups of people need to be working together to get you the results that you want. And in my opinion, that is the only way to do it. And obviously the panel reflected that as well. So if we can bring sales and marketing together, that would be great. Another one of the sessions I went to was all about implementing change, which is something that I do on a daily basis within the role that I have working with different recruitment agencies. And I often do see it overlooked. Change isn't something that it should be taken lightly. And if you're looking to bring in AI and more automations across your business, you can't just turn that on and hope that it's going to work. We need to make sure that we are navigating this successfully and supporting everybody in the business, I suppose, on this new journey and through this new way of working. So there were 8 key things to look at when you were implementing change, and I just wanted to go through these with you now so you can remember this and start putting this into action if you're already going through the change. So number 1 is, what is your goal and how are you going to achieve that? Make sure you're thinking about that throughout the program and throughout the change to make sure you always come back to why you started this process. Don't lose sight of why you started this. Number 2 is define the KPIs. You'll need to probably put some measurements in to make sure it's working successfully. Like, there's no point saying we need to get more jobs on. We need to say, right, we're going to make this change, and within the first 6 months we want to see an increase of 50% of jobs, or we want 10 more retained jobs. So if you can put that in, again, you can then use that with your goal and then your KPIs to make sure that you're always coming back on this and everything is on track. Number 3 was talking about vendors versus partners. If you are bringing in the likes of Bullhorn or a SourceFlow, Sourcewhale, Woo, to help you on your journey to getting this AI and automation stuff where it needs to be, and obviously creating a real Bullhorn ecosystem, you need to treat these suppliers, these vendors, as partners. You need to be having regular updates with them. You need to understand what they're doing before they're doing it, so you can understand how you roll that out into your product roadmap and your areas of change. So make sure you really, really value those relationships. Go to webinars, go to events, make sure you book regular times in with your account managers so you can navigate the change and you can really be valuing their relationships and the insights that they have to improve what you're doing, so you are fully supported throughout the change process. Number 4 is coming up with a time matrix. There'll be probably different departments involved in what you're doing. It could be sales, finance, operations, marketing. It's really important to understand how much of a time constraint this will be on people. If you're looking to bring out an entire automation and AI process next year, there's going to be a lot of time that's taken up by people, especially in sales and operations and marketing. So work that out. Have you got the capacity to do that? If they don't, looking to bring an external resource to help you do that, and that's exactly what I do on a daily basis. But make sure that you understand how much it's going to take from these people's existing day-to-day jobs to make the change and manage that effectively. You may need to bring in more resource to make this happen, or you may need to prioritize different projects to get this where you need to be. So don't undervalue and underestimate the time that some of this might take. Plan it logically. Number 5 is all about change and culture change. Now, Luke from Cloud Call said you cannot have a digital transformation without a culture change. And I really agree with that. If you suddenly, I said, go into your recruitment agency tomorrow and say, we're going to be automating this and this and this and this and doing this, and you no longer need to do cold calls, that's going to be most likely a real big shift in what you do, and that may not go down well. You need to support your team with that, and you need to lead from the top. You need to help your team understand that you're doing this to help them be more efficient, to be more productive, to be more valued, and that you see their jobs being really valuable in forming the human connections and doing stuff that the AI and the automation will never be able to do. So support your teams on this change. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be perfect every time as well, but really make sure you manage this from a culture perspective, lead from the top, and that is how you'll get the results and have a successful change and digital transformation. Number 6 is creating some sort of like decision committee and change committee. There's a lot of different things that will happen throughout finance, operations, sales, and learning and development, and having people from different departments come together to work on this and make sure everything is going as planned is going to be invaluable, especially when it comes to the recruitment consultants, because this will affect them a lot. So having some change champions to make sure that you can get valuable feedback from them, I believe, will be something that is a really good idea. And I love that idea that they said about how to navigate change successfully. So that's another great takeaway from Bullhorn. Make sure that your change is throughout the business and that you've got a group of people supporting you to do that. In at number 7, we've got reviewing milestones. Now, right at the top, we mentioned KPIs and adding goals. Keep these in mind. And I think this is really crucial. This is something that I think we sometimes forget about when we're implementing change or new products. We forget why we did this in the first place and what we wanted from it. So make sure you're regularly reviewing the milestones and the KPIs that you've put in place to get this where it needs to be and stay on track. So as another great tip. The final tip at number 8 was, this is going to take time. Like, you can't implement AI and automation and on Monday morning it's going to be perfect. Oh, if only it was that easy. And we need to make sure that you've got the time and the energy and the effort to get this where it needs to be. And this is going to be a journey, and you can't do a change transformation, a culture transformation, and move to AI and automation overnight. It's going to take a long time, so we need to be patient, and we will get there. And we need to navigate it, I suppose, as a community and share our successes, share what hasn't worked, and get it where it needs to be. So there are the 8 tips to making sure that you navigate and implement change successfully throughout your change and digital transformation process. So thank you to everybody on that panel who shared that. Really valuable, and I hope you found that valuable too. So as you can imagine, there was a lot to take in on the day, and this is just a very small amount of what was actually shared. There was so many amazing networking opportunities as well that was had throughout. And I think for me, the key takeaway was that we're in this together. Like, in the recruitment industry, historically, it's been agency versus agency, but that's not the case anymore. And that's what Bullhorn have done an amazing job of building a community, and through their user groups, through their webinars, through their in-person events, just like Bullhorn Engage. It always reminds me that, like, we're not alone and we're navigating this together. If you've not been to Bullhorn Engage and you weren't able to make it, I hope you found this useful. If you want to know more, then let me know, or reach out to anybody at Bullhorn who'll be able to give you some more of the insights on the products and the changes that are coming. And I highly, highly recommend the next time they have an event, whether that's a focus group or a webinar or an in-person live event like Bullhorn Engage, you get yourselves down there, because there was so much to take in, and it really was an exciting day to see the potential of what the future of Bullhorn is going to look like, and most importantly, what the future of recruitment is going to look like for so many of us in the years to come as well. If you want to learn a bit more about just getting the Bullhorn basics right, so you can roll this out with new starters within your business, then check out this playlist, and that teaches them everything they need to know on getting the grips to Bullhorn. So when it comes to maximizing your data and using AI and automation, they're already 10 steps ahead.